Try and slide this thing back in here. Woo! A little tight there. All right, so I was checking out the new fenders on the car, and we have this big gas store opening on the rear fender. We obviously don't use it, and so I was trying to figure out what to do with it. And at first I was like, okay, we'll lay some carbon in here. And I was like, the carbon might not match, so maybe we'll just do a piece of aluminum. Then it kind of hit me. I was like, oh, I think Dylan still has some of his mesh left over. So took a quick cruise over here and found some aluminum scraps. So nice little drop piece. The plan is make a little mesh cover for this hole. So today, instead of filling this hole with Bondo and carbon and fiberglass and everything else, we're gonna make a cool little vent out of it. All right, step one is going to be removing this fender. Had it off and on a couple times, so some of the screws are loose. Here we go. Pretty sweet, huh? Woo. Look at that. Set this guy up on this table. And so now the hard part about this is, it's got a bit of a curve to it, so we're gonna have to get that angle really dialed in. And because since this carbon is so flexible, you don't want to just try and run some rivets into it. It's gonna change the shape of it. So we'll get our little piece here, kind of lay it up on the inside, trace a little circle, and start playing with the overall shape of it. So. Just get a rough mark on here, so we can kind of see where we need to shear it, so that we can get it to be a little bit more of a working size. We'll go from here. Starting to play with the angles a little bit. I knocked the other little tips off of it, so it's even more the shape of the circle. Now I'm getting a little bit of the bend into it, and just kind of forming it by hand, Nothing too crazy. Like I said, make sure that we find this angle that it likes. We got some. It's gonna lay up in there pretty good. You see how this is really flexing the carbon, so I want to bring that up a little bit more. Is that better? It's looking pretty good. Now we can start to clamp it in place. What I did, these are my bumper mounts, so I just held it up in there, marked and drilled that hole out a little bit larger so that the screw fits through it. So I have one means of holding it, since that one's actually going to go through it. So one thing that's kind of locating it for me. And then I'm going to get a little clamp, grab this other side, and hold it down. I'm going to just run a couple drills through it so I can sink some rivets in. But yeah, the cool thing about that mesh, with Dylan's car, he did a great job fitting that onto the rear windows. So he had a means of venting air, well, not venting, but scooping air, I should say, into the back of his car. And so yeah, this aluminum mesh we get at our local metal supplier. It is 1/8 inch holes, so 1/8 inch rivets would be perfect for it. But when you're doing body work, these little flexible jaw guys, really nice. Little piece of blue tape, so you don't scratch them up. Well, not scratch up your pliers, but scratch up your body panels. Is what I mean by that. So now, what I need to do is measure my points of contact that I want to use, sink a couple holes, and fire a couple rivets into this thing. What do you say? Actually, really hard to see. A little light underneath it helps to see the actual hole now. So without it, you can't see it. So get that going. So there's our hole now, and I'm just gonna measure up and out, get some even spacing, fire some holes through this 1/8 inch, and sink a couple rivets. And I'll tell you what, if they ever open up IKEAs again, you know IKEA tape measures? 99 cents. are amazing. And they come in inch and metric. It's the only tape measure I know that does that. So I bought like a dozen of them. I need more of the shop. Alright, so 1/2 inch off each side. I can trim down this aluminum a little bit more. Double checking measurements. What I did was I squared it off of these two because, you know, since it's such an egg shape, it's hard to find the center. And so measuring from here to here is about 1/2 inch off. So I moved it 1/4 inch down. So now I'm 7.5 inches from here to here on both. So, and this one measures out too. So nice and even. Let's give this a little test run here. Cleco's my favorite tool. That's pretty awesome. Looks like I might have to give it a little more flex right there to fill that hole. Same thing up here. I don't want to put 100 rivets around it, but yeah, maybe I do. Let's see. Nope, I don't have enough material up there to do that. All right, so now I got everything marked out and know where my holes are. I'm gonna go and just trim it out a little bit more. By trimming, I just mean kind of sand the edges down, get it looking good. All right, so got some paint on this guy. Matches the carbon really well. So I'm going to try and slide this thing back in here. Just gonna fit it back in. So, yeah. So now I can sink my rivets. Get it all buttoned up first. Let's give that a little bit of a step there. So, got a long rivet. Sink that in through. Come on, baby, pop. Woo! A little tight there. All right. Look at that. Frickin' stellar. Frickin' stellar. All right, we just got her all buttoned up and wrapped up and it looks freaking sick. I love it. So instead of just doing a little carbon cap or something like that, went for the mesh, let some smoke out, something that's a little different. And finishing touch. Dayton said he left me a little present over here. He was doing the vinyl for me. So let's see here. Ah. Get it. Get that. Yeah.
Oh boy.
There it is. Woo!
Ain't that a sight to see?
That's sweet. So on today's episode, you're gonna see just a couple little tips and tricks about how to route a wiring harness.